I may do some reactions later, but as of right now, like I'm not gonna start off with reactions. I think this is like the best thing for me to do is just start like just talking, have something for us to talk about. You know what I mean, and then transition into
Nigerian megastar Burna
reactions.
Boy has addressed the backlash he faced following a comment he made about the lineage of African Americans. The renowned
And a lot of us over here do not like to be called African American, Joe.
African musician who recently performed
African Americans came in the 1980s. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a lot of us do not like to be called that. I damn sure do not like to be called that.
at the NBA
That's just me, though.
All-Star halftime show in Utah and has been scheduled to headline the upcoming UEFA Champions League final in Istanbul in June, made a statement that some African Americans found offensive, in which he emphasized the significance of their return to their homeland from the diaspora. Welcome. This is Rain Smith, and you're watching the New Africa channel. During a recent interview, Burna Boy was asked about his opinion on the importance of African Americans returning to Africa. The celebrated musician replied that a trip
I think before he even said anything, I feel as if like he should have just been like, "That's not my place to say," and just kept it moving. But
to Africa
let me see what he
is
said.
very important for Black Americans and could significantly benefit their sense of identity and help them function better in society. To illustrate his point, he drew parallels between the experiences of African Americans and those of Chinese and Italian Americans. Burna Boy suggested that the latter groups do not face the same challenges in the U.S. because they have a strong understanding of their roots and what they represent. The Chinese American has a base. He knows he's from China. Italian Americans know where their grandparents came from in Italy. They know the first person from their family to come to America to start that line. Same goes to everyone else except the African Americans.
Can't say that. That's why I say you cannot say that. From my knowledge of what my family taught me is we've been here. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as when people even say African American, still, once again, they only just taking it from the news aspect of it. A lot, and I mean a lot of people is getting tired of being called African American. And that's no disrespect to Africa or anything like that. But it's more of just a lot of people is understanding their background. A lot of people is asking their grandmother and stuff like that. Hold on one second, fellas. Yep, forgot what I was saying, yo.
He said. Burna Boy's interview received significant attention from African American communities, many of whom expressed anger and frustration with his remarks on social media. They believed that his statement meant that they were no true Americans but Africans.
See what I'm saying? A lot of us do. That's the government. When I promise you this, if you talk to people from over here, they're not calling themselves African American unless they know they from Africa or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the time, that is really like the government always saying that and stuff like that. But when you really ask around, a lot of people be like, "Man, I'm indigenous." I'm saying I'm Indian. Like my grandmother, what you gonna tell me? My grandmother wrong? My great grandmother wrong? Because they wasn't called African back then. You get what I'm saying? Like I said before, that came into play in the 1980s. My grandmother was born way before the 1980s. My mother was born before the 1980s. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
You know why okay, let's use America for example, right? Because we can use anywhere. Yeah. But let's just use America, right? Why do you think the Chinese American has their respect? And they don't go through the things that African Americans go through. Like, even though they might go through their struggles, I'm not taking anything away from them. But they don't go through what the African American goes through. You know why? Because the Chinese American has a base. He actually knows where he's from in China.
Right. And they have support from the Chinese government.
You understand? Like the Italian American.
They have Italy.
They know where their grandparents came from in Italy before. They know the first person in their family to come to America to start that line that made them Italian American. They know. You understand what I'm saying? And same goes for everyone else except the African American.
You can't say that once again because I'm talking since I was. It's like in America, you start learning about slavery, I can remember, around third grade, right? Around second, third grade is kind of like when they bring it up to you. Now you see things, but like I'm talking about like slavery, like what they claim is slavery. I'm saying Abraham Lincoln time. They start bringing that up to us around like maybe like third grade or something like that. And majority of us, they were still live with our grandparents, something like that. And if you go to your grandparents and start talking, saying, yeah, Africa and all this other stuff, your grandparents will look at you weird. Like, yo, you know they was teaching your damn mother this? And I used to be like, what the hell? What are they talking about? Because in our grandparents' school, they don't, Africa what? That's what they're gonna say. And then they could even be like, black what? I wasn't called black. That was disrespect sometimes. You know what I mean? But anyway.
You understand what I'm saying to you? So how can an African American and an Italian American be on the same field when how do I put this in a nice politically correct way?
However, the musician has since clarified his statements via an Instagram post, explaining that he did not intend to suggest that African Americans are not true Americans or do not.
Yeah, I think he wasn't trying to say that. I think he was just saying like the background of like where you kind of come from in your base. You get what I'm saying? I said this before. I feel as if like people don't realize like we do have a culture here. A lot of people do take our culture, but we do have a culture. We do have things. We got food and all kinds of stuff. So don't ever, if you are my complexion, don't ever feel like we taking people culture and all that. Nah, bro. A lot of people took our culture. Do your history. I'm not gonna tell you a lot of stuff, but I do read a lot. Just do your history. And don't be doing no basic history and all that other stuff. Don't, and not saying don't even try to even do a lot of American books. You have to go overseas books because those are the ones that was coming over here and trying to build a lot of stuff. You get what I mean? But anyway.
Not deserve the opportunities available to them in the U.S. Instead, he emphasized the importance of African unity and the need for black people across the world to come together to gain more power and influence.
Now, I'm down with that.
It's sad.
I'm down with that. You'll get killed, though. You better be careful. But I'm down with that, though.
To see that in 2023, there are still such black people who would prefer we stay divided and conquered. Maybe it's my accent or something, but I never said you are African and not American. I also did not say Africa is part of heaven. You deserve all the land and reparations you want from America, and I'm 100% in support of that. All I've ever done is try to make you understand that you have Africa too that loves you, and I believe coming together as brothers and
But that's one thing we...
sisters is the only way forward for American black people worldwide. You work against the progress of our people worldwide if your goal is to keep us divided, he stated. Burna Boy is renowned for his unwavering commitment to promoting African values and bringing people together through his music. Thus, it comes as no surprise that he would make a pro-African statement regarding the importance of unity among black people. This position is consistent with the values instilled in him by his mother, who became an instant sensation after delivering an impassioned speech on stage during the BET Music Award in 2019, in which she boldly declared that every black person should remember that they were Africans before they became anything else.
Thank you very much, B.
I feel like a lot of people shouldn't be saying that. Yeah, just keep it at that. A lot of people should not be saying all blacks is from Africa. You know what I mean?
E.T., thank you, Africa, because
it's not all Chinese that... Can I say what I want to say? Because, yeah, I'm not going to say that. But you get what I mean, though. You know what I'm saying? Like a Japanese ain't
because
gonna be like,
that's the constituency for which we got
Chinese?
noticed in the first place. And the message from Burna, I believe, would be that every black person should please remember that you were Africans before you became anything else. Thank you.
The boundaries of Africa do not limit its true essence, for it is much more than a mere continent. Africa encompasses all individuals across the globe who can trace their heritage back to this wondrous place. Brimming with unparalleled richness and uniqueness, Africa is a testament to the diversity and beauty of humanity. Do you think Burna Boy's comments deserve the backlash it got?
No.
Let us know in the comments.
No.
Be sure to like the video, comment, share, and subscribe to the New Africa channel for more exciting future videos.
Definitely will. I just feel as if like everybody else, they don't know the history, or they just read one thing and just get stuck on that one thing, and that be it. I feel as if when people start educating themselves a little bit more, then I feel as if like we probably could move on from like where we at. Not every I love one of the things he said. Not everybody really got to be the same. Not everybody got to be from Africa or anything like that. But I do feel as if like our complexion, we should communicate a little bit more, because who said we can't? That's one, and it's like, why don't we? You get what I'm saying? I always looked at it, just because I speak a language, that's what I am. I'm just human. Why can't it? I just can't just be human. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that's keeping a lot of these people out of other countries, the government and all this other stuff, they not even American. Like you said, they even got background. Our president is Dutch or whatever the heck he is. Like, he's the first generation. Why is he even? Anyway, I don't want to go to that deep. But this is another one I want to do. I think this is not a spinoff to it, but this is something I definitely wanted to have a conversation about.